I have just watched Cheifsaholic. And wow, wow. But I just want to start this off here. I want to talk about limited forgiveness because to me, that is one of the biggest punishments outside of 32 years I've just looked up. 32 years Mr. Xavier is going to be serving because of all those banks he robbed and all those people who that have just got like depression and whatever it is, just like afraid to go to work at the bank because of what he did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's crazy. It's crazy. But I just want to talk about limited forgiveness because that to me is one of the biggest punishments that he has. He has limited forgiveness. And what I mean by that is that there are people out there that see the human being in him. They see his story. They see his, like, oh man, I just came from rags to riches, to like, I went from, I never knew what was my last meal to all of a sudden it's like, yeah, man, now I'm like at all the Chiefs games and like, yeah, yeah, go Chiefs, yeah, 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 or whatever, and the wolf mask, I'm just like having a good time and I'm just cool with everyone, and they're just like, bro, how are you able to get like all these seats? How are you able to go to these games? Like, yeah, we're huge Chiefs fans, but we got to go to work, we can't watch everything, but we got like our setup, we got like the Mahomes bobblehead, we got the Travis Kelsey poster, we got the Chiefs Kingdom flag, like we got it all, but like you are just wow. Like you're the biggest Chiefs fan we know. Like that's crazy. Limited forgiveness. That is the message that I want to show. Limited forgiveness. Because if anything, that is what truly breaks a person. And there are only a few rare times, I guess, unless like you're completely off the deep end, to where that will really affect you. Because at best, yeah, he's got maybe 100 or so, maybe even like 2 to 3 people that really understand and really care about him outside of his own family. And even then, that's still part of limited forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all that will do is just leave you wanting more and just feeling worse. The people that are just genuinely like, dude, I know what you're coming from, and, you know, and yeah, like you definitely deserve like this punishment, but I care about you, man. Like, like think about when you were really in a tough state and somebody wasn't judging you and they were just like actually were caring about you. And then what happens? You start to get emotional. You start to break down. And you're just like, oh my God, like I can't believe it. Like, why did I have to do this? Why did I have to think this? Blah, 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 blah. And to me, that's what he's doing. I genuinely believe that as much as I'm someone who, A, is not a diehard Chiefs fan, and B, not really the biggest Cheifsaholic fan because of what he's done, at the same time, I do somewhat, you know, like want to at least try to understand him and hope that maybe, just maybe, because there have been people out there that have done some pretty bad crimes and have come back from years later and have gone to do better things. It's happened. Is Xavier going to do that when he gets out? If he ends up getting out? Because who knows? We don't know. We don't know. But yeah, to me, I think that he has a few people that understand him, and that's eating him up inside because it's only just going to leave him wanting more. It's only going to make him wish that, you know, he was still where he was, where like everyone was like, oh yeah, there's, you know, like you're so cool, you know, and everything and that. But no, instead, you know, you're isolated. You know, isolation is a whole different ball game. You know, especially when it's for, you know, 32 years now at this point. Like that can just mess up anyone. Again, unless like, you know, you're Michael Myers and you're just like, you just literally see nothing but darkness, you know, then maybe that's different. But for the majority of us, it's not. But yeah, Cheifsaholic, man, whew, absolutely insane, you know, and just being like, who is this guy? Like, this guy in a wolf mask. It's like, oh, he's got to be like something like kind of like over the top, but you know, he's just a goofy fan, you know. Maybe he says some wild things, but overall, it's like, yeah, he's not that bad of a guy. And then, and then, and then we dive deeper. And then we find out, like, oh, he's not just a diehard Chiefs fan. He's also a liar who pretended, you know, that, like, he graduated from KSU, and he did not. That, you know, his job was working at a factory, I think, or something, and that was a lie. And, um, and when he wasn't wearing a wolf mask, he was wearing a paintball mask, gloves, and apparently really loved going to Target a lot. And then you got, you know, like this lawyer who has a tattoo, which, I mean, okay, I guess it's one thing for a lawyer to have, you know, maybe even a back tattoo, but an arm tattoo and you look like that, like, yeah. And making football jokes, like, yeah, that's a comedy for sure. That is definitely a comedic lawyer. Like, there's no way in hell that this guy was actually going to do anything. Like, even a 5-year old could look at him and just go, yeah, you're silly. Like, you're not gonna help this man. Like, come on. You got a tattoo. You're saying that, you know, it was only when he started blowing up on social media that all of a sudden it's like everyone's saying, like, oh, he robbed these banks. He robbed these banks. And it's like, that's not really how it works, my guy. Like, yeah, there is that whole, like, oh, once you become famous, then everybody wants a piece of it and they'll take it from you however they can. But I don't think that is the case in Mr. Xavier's situation. I think that, you know, they actually, you know, he actually did that. He actually did that shit. He actually robbed all those banks. You know, he held people at gunpoint, BB gun or not. You know, like it's still like all those things that he done. You know, like no one. It doesn't make sense for like, oh, like the moment that his social media started exploding. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well he robs banks. You know, it's like he either did or he didn't, and well, obviously he did. And yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And look, I mean, if you like him, that's cool, but let's not. And I don't want to do this as a pro wrestling fan, but seriously, like let's not go the Benoit route here. Okay? From a wrestling fan to like Chiefs fans, like let's not go the Benoit route, please. let's not, just like completely say that, oh, Cheifsaholic is innocent. Okay? And if you know about Chris, then you know about, where I'm coming from. Because there are people out there that say, like, oh, well, Chris never actually did in 2007. Like, he was murdered. Like, this doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense, blah, 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 blah. Like, let's not do that. Okay? Like, he actually did it. It doesn't mean you can't watch his matches. And don't worry, I'm getting back on track. Just like it doesn't mean that you can't, you know, wear maybe a Cheifsaholic costume. Maybe you can, you know, I don't know, or make a drawing or something. It doesn't mean that you can't like talk positively about him, but let's not act like the man was a saint. Cause, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was a troubled man, but a troubled man who just refused to get help when it was given to him. Like the bail bondsman in the special. He genuinely wanted to help him out, and what did he end up doing? He cut off his ankle bracelet. How? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you cut off your ankle bracelet? And on top of that, you would just drop pretty much like clues all around. Why? Why? That just doesn't make any single solitary sense to me. Why you would just drop off your shit and, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, guess what happened? You got caught. You were smart for a minute, but, FBI, man. FBI, they got you. They got you. They got you, buddy. And now you're facing 32 years. But I do have this belief. I do have this belief that maybe, just maybe he'll change in 32 years. Excuse me. Maybe things will be better. Maybe he'll go on to, become like not even a super Chiefs fan, or at least if he is, he'll be a healthier super Chiefs fan. Maybe he will, donate, maybe he'll create a charity. Or maybe he'll just disappear and just leave himself be to his family. We don't know. We don't know. 32 years is a long ass time. But that's all for today, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I overall recommend giving Cheifsaholic a watch. What do you guys think about it? Did you have a good experience? Did you have a bad experience with Cheifsaholic? Let me know in the comments down below. That's all I gotta say. Peace and love.